Hi there. My name is Dorothea Rosen. I'm a goldsmith in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and today I'm back in Halifax after my travels, and I'm coming to you from my very green dining room because it's the color of Peridot, which is one of the birthstones of August, and that's what I'm going to talk about briefly today. So August actually has 3 birthstones, and they are Peridot, as mentioned, and also Spinel, which many people don't know. Spinel was added to the August birthstones in the late 2016. In 2016, and Sardonyx is another one of the August birthstones. So you August babies have plenty of options, which is nice. Not everybody likes this color. I happen to like it. Look, I didn't even think about this, but even my teapot is this kind of lime green, peridot green. So, let me tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to start with Sardonyx because it's the least well-known one. Sardonyx is made up of that word is made up of 2 words, sard and onyx. So you might be familiar with onyx and think of it as black, but onyx can also be white. And then sard is similar to your carnelian, but carnelian is a little bit more orange and sard is a little bit more brown. So it's the combination of those 2 that make up a Sardonyx. And oh gosh, I hope I'm still a little bit jet-lagged here. So this is what Sardonyx looks like because it's striped like this. So it is a Chalcedony, which is similar to an agate, where these kinds of striations, there are more colors than an agate and they're much more wild. But in a Sardonyx, they're very striped. And for that reason, let me get rid of that again. For that reason, Sardonyx was used to carve cameos, because you can imagine that there'd be these layers, and if you carve away, if this is a white layer and this is an orange layer or a brown layer, brownish orangish layer, if you carve away around that, then you have an orange background and a white face, for example. So that's perfect for cameos. So if you are an August baby, you could have a cameo as a birthstone if you wanted to. I would recommend you wear that as a pendant rather than a ring, because it's quite fragile. It has a Mohs hardness of 6.5 to 7. You hear me talk about that frequently. And it's just a little soft for rings. It does encourage Sardonyx in general. I mean, you could wear it just striped. I think it's quite beautiful like that, or carved. It's supposed to give courage, happiness, and good communication, I think. Peridot, its other green friend, therefore August birthstones, has the same Mohs hardness. So it is really pretty soft for rings. I have put it into rings, like in this this is the last of its kind. This is a maple wrap ring, and you can see the green. I wanted the green in here to signify a leaf, the birth of something. So I have this in a full bezel, so that protects it pretty well. So if you're going to put a softer stone like that in a ring, it should be super well protected. And what else about Peridot? It's very consistently green. A lot of other gemstones have other colors. I'll talk about that in a second with Spinel, for example. But Peridot is always that color to a more or less extent. It's either more or less saturated, or it's just darker or more light, a little more yellow, that kind of thing. And the color component in Peridot always comes from iron, whereas in other gemstones, sometimes there are impurities that make a color different. But Peridot always has iron. It's rarely treated, and it's sensitive to acids, which is good to know. So be careful with things like perfume or hairspray, anything like that, any acidic, in your cooking if you do have a ring, just better take it off if you're going to be squeezing lemons. It's also the stone for 15th anniversary, by the way. 15, yes, 1-5. So that's that one. And then the last one is Spinel, and I actually did an entire live about this a year ago, and you can find that on my YouTube channel, Dorothea Rosen Goldsmith, on YouTube, or on my website. There also a lot of videos. I'm not sure if that one's on there, but definitely the YouTube channel has it. Spinel is a really great stone. It has this super bright vitreous luster, was often mistaken for ruby because it can be very, very red like this. This is Spinel. And throughout history, many Spinel have been mistaken for rubies. They didn't figure out that Spinel was a separate mineral until the late 1800s. But it can also come in these bluish kind of colors, and it depends on, like, the bluish kind of colors come from an iron or maybe cobalt. In this case, maybe cobalt, I think. Addition, and again, that's like the impurity in the gem that that gives it a different color, which is great. Whereas the red ones are chromium. Chromium is also what gives a ruby its red, by the way. Chromium is cool that way. Spinel's a lot harder on the most scale. It's an 8. It's a great stone. I love Spinel. I think they're really fabulous. And they do also come black like this. So this is opaque black. So they come in everything in between. So they come in a variety of colors, pinks, violets, all kinds. And again, I do have another video about that on the YouTube channel. That's it for today. I'm trying to make these quicker so you don't have to waste your whole Sunday. I hope you stay cool inside and out. And I wish you a great day. Take care.